what's your emergency?
How could a normal moment at a gas station turn into a horrific nightmare when an innocent woman is suddenly set ablaze? Cops left stunned after horrifying discovery. March 30th, 2022, at a Circle K gas station in Pensacola, Florida. Joey, the station's trusted cashier, is performing her job with dedication and care. She is the epitome of hard work, striving to make every transaction go smoothly and without a hitch. Betty Jean F., a woman recently diagnosed with schizophrenia, is standing in line waiting for her turn to buy gas. With her mind in turmoil and her panic out of control, Betty Jean has no idea that this encounter will soon lead to a series of terrifying and unpredictable events. Betty stood in line to buy gas with a gas can in her hand. Her expression seemed calm at first glance but contained an indescribable unease. She did not communicate with the cashier Joey and seemed to be preparing to pay. Joey was busy with his daily work, not noticing the abnormality in Betty's behavior, but just considered her a normal customer. However, when Betty quietly left the store without paying, Joey did not have time to realize that a serious danger was silently approaching. No one knew that, right after leaving the gas station, Betty did not go far but only stopped at a nearby store, where she bought another gas can along with other tools such as matches and rope. In her mind, chaotic thoughts and emotions were intertwined, forming a bizarre and terrifying plan. With the instability of schizophrenia, Betty's ideas became unpredictable and unpredictable, making her an invisible but present threat. When Betty returned to the gas station with a full tank of gas and the newly purchased tools, hiding them under her loose coat, nothing seemed out of the ordinary. She entered the store with an expressionless face, just an ordinary woman returning with a full tank of gas. Joey, unsuspecting, continued his work, unaware of the terrible situation he was about to face. Betty approached Joey, her eyes fixed on the cashier. Every step she took was haunted. Betty lifted the full gas can, her hands trembling but determined. In a moment of tension, she poured gasoline on Joey, her eyes cold and emotionless like someone who had lost all emotion. Before anyone could react, Betty lit the fire, causing a brutal fire on the spot. The fire quickly spread, causing chaos in the store. Thick smoke filled the air, and screams of panic rang out. In the panic, Veronica, a brave co-worker of Joey, did not hesitate to rush in to help. Although Veronica's hands were shaking, she still tried to grab a nearby bucket of water and pour it over Joey's body, but his heroic actions could not stop the firestorm. Veronica was also burned in the process of helping. Without a word of apology, without an act of remorse, Betty left the scene with an unhurried step, as if she had just completed a predetermined mission. Joey, whose entire arm, face, and neck were still burned, was shocked not only by the victim but also by the surrounding community. The Escambia County Sheriff's Department received a 911 call about the horrific incident. Officers, with determination and quick thinking, were on the scene immediately. They rushed to the rescue, doing their best to put out the fire and save Joey from the raging flames. A witness, shaken and frightened, gave the police a description of the suspect. She was an African-American woman, in her late 20s to early 30s, wearing black tracksuits with gold zippers and blue toenails. This description, while detailed and specific, was not enough to explain the underlying cause of such a brutal act. As investigators began to question Betty, they quickly realized that the information she provided was extremely confusing and disorganized. Betty kept changing her story, unable to provide a clear motive for her brutal actions. She mentioned throwing gasoline at Joey because she felt insulted and unhappy, but her explanations were vague and unconvincing. Betty seemed to not realize the seriousness of what she had done, and her indifference only added to the suspicions about her true motive. Betty's unusual demeanor did not stop there. She continued to ask strange questions about Joey's condition, showing no concern or sympathy. She asked whether Joey could recover or whether her condition was more serious than had been reported. This not only left investigators puzzled, but also raised doubts about Betty's level of awareness and connection to her actions. When asked about her condition, Betty admitted that she was unhappy with her psychiatric medication. She explained that in order to receive benefits from the state, she needed to take her medication regularly. However, that morning, Betty had not taken her medication and did not feel any significant difference without it. Betty's nonchalant attitude and lack of concern about her actions, combined with not taking her medication, further confused and perplexed investigators. Were her actions the result of an uncontrolled mental state or part of a more elaborate plan? After the incident, it took the police officers about 40 minutes to transport Betty to the county jail. During the waiting time, Betty continued to converse strangely with the hallucinations in her head. She talked to unreal images, with a cold smile and a strange indifference. In the midst of the hallucinations, Betty showed unusual optimism about her situation, as if nothing was important. The court, after reviewing Betty's mental state, decided that she was not competent to stand trial until more than a year after the crime. This decision caused anxiety and dissatisfaction in the community, as they had to wait so long for the truth and justice. During this time, Betty continued to receive treatment and was closely monitored in a psychiatric facility, where her unstable mental state was constantly monitored. Meanwhile, Joey has survived the horrific attack and continues to recover from her severe burns. Joey must come to terms with the fact that the injuries she sustained will never completely go away. They will always be indelible marks on her life. Don't take your eyes off the screen because we have many other dramatic cases for you to watch. Thank you for watching until the end of the video.